So everybody, it's Amon here. Welcome back to some more versus battles. Today's video, we have another one, a bully. I'm gonna be doing some more bully fighting battles. Pretty interested in me with these battles, coming together with mainly this big trilogy I have planned involving bully characters for this Cobra Kai. And this one, you see by the title, we have Darby, the leader of the preps, the outboxer, pounding in his own right, and the man that loves the incest, sweet home Alabama.
Did you say you're waiting for Darby?
Yes. I don't really like him, but he's my cousin and our family wants us to get married. You know, keep up.
This is what they were implying.
Wait, marry your cousin?
You know,
So Darby is the red-headed motherfucker I just fucking
my
bought.
Auntie's poor thumbs.
Now don't let my mistake of thinking that Biff was Darby here, because no, we're not talking about Biff. I have a plan for Biff, because he's arguably a way better fighter than Darby in a lot of different ways. I have the scaling and the role of facts to go improve that. But with my point still being made, here's why all around I think that Darby is a very great professive boxer in his own right in this case. But when I say professive, I would just say in the form of being central case of a tactician in his own right, but not in the same comp of skills like Biff is here, as you see him wemming up on someone like Jimmy. But I'm just saying he can arguably in some consistency relative to Biff and all right, but Biff has better wham up and better account of capability and skill in comparison to someone like Darby in comparison, because he does way more better than Jimmy. But besides all that, we're talking about Darby Hamilton versus Robbie Lawrence, or Robbie, the strongest character in Cobra Kai. Also want to say thank you again to the last video of with Robbie having capability in comparison to his dad when he was younger, even more stronger, and this pure fact of saying thank you again to Ty Learn for talking about last time Johnny Lawrence. Even though obviously he wasn't glad, I just want to say thanks Ty Learn for the research. Go check out his videos, go check out his channel, dope ass channel, dope Cobra Kai channel if you want to get more on the Cobra Kai and the kind of history of Karate Kid and other pagan stuff that comes involved in the case for his channel and all that. And all around, I hope you guys will enjoy. Love y'all. Let's go get into it.
They've had the best feats shown after learning both styles, with Robby clearly being the top dog of Cobra Kai right now, but Tori is following behind him. As you can see, when my boy Tyler learned he's the top of Cobra Kai, nothing to be said. He's a very important factor involved in that, because he gives everybody else before him and the mixed match stuff. At the same time, it's obviously means very profound at karate in the Cobra Kai art style. He also has a mix up with Miyagi-Do. He is relative to Eli, as later on talked about with them, that they can be inseparable, and make it for either one of them that can run the play, evolving how to do things. He's a very cool martial artist, and plus a big part evolving the case of how he can do things in comparison to somebody like Darby. At the same time, there's nothing much else to really be said, but he has great core capabilities, side capabilities, crane kick, other arsenals of Cobra Kai and other mix-ups that can play in the part, and he has a lot more versatility and capabilities to push on someone like Darby, and all around his skill with mixed martial arts, which is the main thing to outsert somebody like him, is what puts him at a higher status than him for high comparison. Someone like that is like an encounter for everything like this. Darby Hamilton, the leader of the preps, like I said before, obviously doing incest shit with his cousin Pinky, which I'm glad possibly that whole relationship got disarrayed, because the factor is, man, Jimmy needing to beat with a bad like Pinky, playing around with this, the fact that they should run about each other. I mean, family, I guess, and do whatever you want, but that's still weird. But Darby Hamilton being the leader of preps doesn't put him over everybody. To someone like Bryce or Biff, because Biff is a better counter fighter than someone like Bryce, because Bryce overall can lead his fodder. He has his great A skills, but he doesn't have the skills to really run up against someone like Jimmy. He kind of just staggers Jimmy. Jimmy can all around pummel him. Bryce is not that much of a problem, but Biff actually correlates more of a kind of a problem than someone like Bryce, and at the same time Darby. Jimmy's just a whole new recorder, so at the same time I get that. But at the same time, now to go back on the form, Darby has his own skills that play a better part than someone like Biff to go ahead and cornerstone someone like Biff at the same time in comparison, because I'm mainly going to be comparing them because that's the main runner-up as the two boxers that actually hold up weight against someone like Jimmy Hopkins. But at the same time, I'm mainly talking about what Biff can do and accounting for what Darby can do. I'm going to go more into Biff with his own video
Big Taylor. Don't worry about it. Had 4-degree COVID. I'm playing around. But actually, on the real, the fully gonna talk about their skills in comparison. Darby has a peekaboo outboxer style like Mike Tyson and runs a little full showing of decision and efficiency. Not like Big Taylor, who is the redhead Muhammad Ali in his own right, but at the same time, he has the capabilities to scruffle, move, dodge, and weave, and do different things to get popping with outboxer showcasing and move around, have other tactical capabilities to do things. And it's depending on his layout and how he correlates with different things in this case. It really just depends. But overarchingly, he has the capabilities to move, dodge, and weave and do different things that are very, how should I say this, very noteworthy and compatible in capacity and accounting for what he can do, involving skill, etc. Especially with him being able to put Jimmy on his ass with one rising uppercut and make him start leaking. As you can see with this puts Biff at a good high in comparison to someone like Jimmy. At the same time, because of the factor of what Darby can do, Darby is able to actually put him on his ass with one hit. Biff is at the same time able to do that, and at the same time it's a lot more better strike-wise. So at the same time, that puts him at a good mileage because he's able to do the same thing, which makes him even more equal to Biff in capacity and comparison. At the same time, this allows Darby with one main hit, because sometimes it depends on the case, but mainly most time when Biff throws out them uppercuts, which you're going to see more and more, he bounces them up in the air. But within this, someone like Jimmy gets clothesline right on the ground and gets knocked. At the same time, with his combinations, well, I'm talking about Biff in this sense, let's make this more clear because I'm not trying to run them around the same, just to go ahead and make a difference here. With Biff, when he does combinations and compacts with the uppercut, that really lays Jimmy on his ass. But with one clean uppercut, Darby's able to do this. So again, it doesn't put him over Biff. It puts Biff at an all-time high at the same time in comparison to him. But it's just the fact that Darby has great power. Biff has to really range in that power to compact it into something more and account for how he does things. But it really depends on the play and the point for how he's able to do something in comparison to be able to beat someone like him, depending on the case of the matter. But at the same time, with his skills to be able to put something like that on his ass, and at the same time with one clean jab and there are combinations to pop and do different things, it's very cool. He has his burn him up Mike Tyson, Raylo on him type of capability where he's out here makes a decision. Again, with all the capabilities compared to uppercut, he knocks him right in the ass with merge in a combo. But again, to reiterate, Biff is very cool and colossal in the count of his capabilities, and with the one uppercut, at the same time, Biff and Darby, to make that very clear, he's able to put them on their ass. So I just want to make that very clear that they both have great capabilities to wrangle somebody, but Darby just has the power to knock somebody like that on the ass the first time without that much case of difficulty, depending on it in this case. And it really just depends on the run of things for how they might go and do something. But that's just why someone like that wins in their own faculty of power, because you're able just to bounce you one time in the face and you get bonked in the face and you can't do shit at that point. But at the same time as well, not to keep going back and forth between them, I just want to make this clear that there's a little bit more capabilities to that. When after going from the peekaboo style and running in like Mike Tyson, he does have the same capacity skill like Biff to be an outboxer showcasing, have the overhead, have the mix combinations, move on the feet, not get hit. And he is a good blocker. He can block very good. He's capable of blocking, is more on the end to counterattack. That's how he's like as a blocker. In the form fundamental of what this is, Bacher. And that's like boxer with it, because that's how he uses a boxer, but how he uses Bacher with what he does, as in balking, with the count for how he does things, if that makes sense. I kind of laid out in a weird sense. But yeah, that's it for Darby Harrington. Obviously, with what he has shown, he still gets floored by Jimmy. That's why he doesn't hold the same capacity. And someone like Biff actually pushes a bigger mark and power instead of someone like Darby, because Biff is able to lay out Jimmy. He's able to put on more pressure. Biff is a way more better fighter. Darby is the brains and the leader of the preps. Biff is his muscle. It's that simple. I don't really think I have to explain it more than that, and accounting for how he's able to do stuff all around, because it's just that simple as a fighter. He gets floored by Jimmy when he gets mixed up, mainly on the legs and gets crossed. And most importantly, with mix-up and combinations, he gets bodied by someone like Jimmy. So with somebody like Robbie mixing this up and doing some other stuff will really put down Darby. But Darby has great boxing skills and could dodge and weave and really set Robbie up for something. And at the same time, if this really matters, even though this isn't about Mike Barnes, Mike Barnes still overarchingly would probably eradicate Robbie at a higher role within the fight. But outside of a street fight in the tournament sense, he might be actually going to put something up against Mike Barnes. It really depends on the case. But overarchingly, it depends on the run of things for how he might go about doing something. That's why it really depends on the case of the matter. But overarchingly, though, if we're talking about in the form for how you might do against someone like Darby, it really depends. We're not talking a street fight mainly in Pacific necessarily, because at the same time, one of them is a boxer, one of them is a karate person. So there's karate versus actual boxing, and obviously one is in form of a ring, and with the tournaments of All Valley, but at the same time, I'm talking about it doesn't have to be just straight in a street fight as a concept, because instead within the form of Johnny Lawrence against Johnny Vincent is because it counts for the Johnny Vincent street fighting style and what he comes in the pack with that. So I just want to make that clear. We're not talking about big out of bar, full no one holds bar type of fight necessarily. We're just talking about compactment of skill and who has a better assertment of power to put out the other person. Because one has power, one has overbearing versatility and skill. Because one is like mixed martial arts and one is boxing. Because again, it's karate versus boxing. We're seeing about who can play in account for evolving capabilities to do this and do that in comparison, and what roles in the play with that. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm talking about the factors for how a person can do this and do that depending on the case of the instance. You know what I'm saying? So overarchingly, when it comes down to you being able to do this, do that, and all that, it really just depends, especially if someone like Robbie has the skill, has the fortitude to be able to do this and do that, depending on the case. So I just want to go and make out the cons and pros for how Darby can do this and do that in full, if that makes any sense in this case. Moving on, though, not to go on a tangent, to who win the fight, Darby Harrington or Robbie. Who win this fight is very interesting. But one, obviously, like I said, one has power. One has mixed capabilities and mixed martial arts. Not to be so much involving the capability for who has this and that. I'm just saying the counter for who can possibly do this will be interesting to run around for stuff and how they might come to pack with it. Because one has sitting capability with power to be able to plant somebody on their ass, but some has capabilities to run up in mixed martial art capabilities and skills in this case. So them running up on each other. Darby is very cocky. At the same time, Robbie is serious, cornerstone person. Man's like Goku and the Gi. At the same time, I feel like overarchingly, Robbie can be put on his ass with enough plant power. But at the same time, Darby, how he fights and run about things, is a counter striker. Obviously, Robbie be overarchingly on the offense and coming with the attack and pressure. So depending on the case, it really depends about things. But overarchingly, I feel like he has the capability to possibly do something. It really just depends for how he works around with it and all that. And his capabilities are very striking in the ground run. It really just depends for how he goes about doing it and all that. His capabilities to do this and all that really just depends about it. His capabilities are very mix and run, because again, all his capabilities really just depends on the layout for how he goes about doing it. But like how Jimmy does Biff and Darby, if he just mixes up, goes in with sweeps, roundhouse kick, and mainly just in a side kick and mixes them up, he'll be gone. At the same time, he can block those, he can dodge those. It's 1-2, uppercut, he can rock niggas. And at the same time, if he opens them up, he can't be done. Maybe you can see Darby winning if Robbie doesn't vitalize this. But I feel like the way Robbie is, he's too much of a grade A fighter that he won't cornerstone this capability. He won't take this advantage lightly. That's the thing. He's not going to just let him be able to push in, do overheads, do all that. That shit will get on him. But Robbie can take it on his chin. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like Robbie will definitely have the better capability to really put up something, put the guard against someone like Darby, and won't just be let down by it. You know what I'm saying? He won't just be downfall by this in this case. He won't just be put down overarchingly in this case. And overarchingly, I feel like his capabilities to do this and do that is in the bad run of things and account for what he could possibly do and precedence with how he could fight and whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? That's just me personally. I feel like Robbie wins overarching. The strongest Cobra Kai is the victor. But what do y'all think? I hope you guys have enjoyed. I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Peace out, mommy. Love y'all.